The room was decorated like a dream. Streamers shimmered under fairy lights, a cake taller than most kids stood in the center, and the golden letters, "Happy 8th Birthday, Lily," sparkled on the wall. But Lily sat alone. Her wheelchair was tucked close to the end of the long banquet table. Her hands rested quietly in her lap, her eyes wide but distant, scanning the room full of children who glanced her way, and looked away just as quickly. Her father, Richard Camden, CEO of a global tech empire, stood stiffly near the bar, glancing between his daughter and the crowd of high society parents trying too hard to enjoy themselves. He had spared no expense for his only child's birthday. A private venue, gourmet catering, an indoor carousel, a magician, but no one, not one child, had dared approach Lily. She was the girl in the wheelchair. No one knew what to say. In a corner, near the exit, stood a man in jeans and a simple button-down shirt, James Carter, a single dad who'd come at the invitation of the event planner, who was his sister. He wasn't on the guest list, but his 7-year-old daughter Emma had tagged along with her aunt, wide-eyed at the sight of the glittering party. Emma tugged on his sleeve. "Daddy, why is that girl sitting alone?" James turned, followed her gaze, and saw Lily, small, fragile, her birthday crown slightly tilted, candles still flickering in front of her untouched cake. "I don't know, kiddo," he murmured. "But maybe we should find out." Without hesitation, Emma trotted forward. James followed. They walked past rows of silent children and frozen parents, past the awkward chatter and sideways glances, until they reached Lily. Emma stood beside her and smiled. "Hi, I'm Emma, can I sit with you?" Lily blinked, then nodded. James knelt beside them. "Hi, I'm Emma's dad. We weren't sure if we were allowed to crash the party, but would it be okay if we joined you?" Lily looked at her cake, at Emma, at the man kneeling beside her. Then, slowly, a smile, small but sure, spread across her face. "Yes," she whispered, "please." James reached forward and gently adjusted her crown. From across the room, Richard Camden froze. He watched as Emma grabbed a paper plate and began slicing the cake, chatting away to Lily like they were old friends. And for the first time all day, Lily laughed. Not just a polite chuckle, a full, radiant, belly laugh that lit up the room like fireworks. One by one, other children started drifting toward the table. First 2, then 5, then all of them. Within minutes, the table was full. Laughter and frosting-covered fingers, magic tricks performed just for Lily, and Emma teaching her how to play a card game she'd made up on the spot. James didn't say much. He sat beside Lily, helping when she needed it, smiling when she beamed. Richard eventually crossed the room, stunned. You're Emma's dad." James stood and extended his hand. "James Carter. You're not from the guest list. Are you with the caterers?" "Nope. Just Emma's dad. My sister's the event planner. We were just passing by." Richard looked at his daughter, surrounded, giggling, her eyes alight. Then back at James. "You did more for her in 5 minutes than I've managed in a year." James didn't reply. He didn't need to. Later that night, after the guests had gone and Lily was curled up with Emma watching cartoons on a tablet, Richard sat down beside James. "I've spent so long trying to fix everything with money," Richard said quietly. "Doctors, therapists, exclusive schools. But I never gave her what she really needed." James nodded. "Sometimes they don't need fixing. Just someone to sit with them. Make them feel seen." Richard was silent for a long time. Then he turned. "How would you feel about working with me?" James raised an eyebrow. "I'm not in tech. I don't need tech. I need heart." Lily's laughter rang out again across the room. Emma had just drawn a silly mustache on her own face with a marker, and Lily was nearly in tears from laughing. For the first time, the party felt real. And from that moment on, nothing was ever quite the same again.